Okay, so I'm gonna say that this one was very personal for me because at the time that Stacey Abrams decided to run for governor, I had become newly elected as the Spalding County Democratic Committee chair, which means that I was over the efforts of getting out the vote in Spalding County.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Stacey's coordinated campaign to come down, and we set up an office for them in order for them to be able to recruit people in the field to go out and make sure people were registered to vote, as well as planning on casting their ballots and coordinating rides to the polls and things like that. Um, it was pretty awesome being able to coordinate a visit from her, having her actually come down to Spalding County to speak, which was the first time we'd ever had a major gubernatorial candidate to come, as well as, of course, the ops came. But it showed how much we had definitely become uh, a focal point in these smaller counties for this particular race, which has been shown most recently as well um, in the recent election we had with the Senate in order to get Ossoff and Warnock into office. So that has been those efforts over the past couple of years have been extremely important in getting that to become a reality as well. But you know, I'm trying so hard today because I don't know if it was a good thing for me to sit here and watch this. I actually took my dad to go see Judas and the Black Messiah last night, and so I'm still still in my feelings about that. And also, it just brought back memories of when Fred Hampton Jr. came to our campus to speak in one of my African American studies classes. But the more that the more that you digest things like this, it just reminds you the more things change, the more they stay the same. Like we're still fighting for our lives when it comes to voting rights, and it's just it's insane. Um, and one of the other things that I wanted to share, because I am a part of her Fair Fight, organization, and that on the 24th, the Georgia bills, House Bill 531 and Senate Bill 421, moved through the legislature, and they're considered some of the worst bills since Jim Crow. And I'm just going to share the comments that were sent to me by email that said, "Today, Georgia Republicans once again showed their contempt for voters as two of the worst voter suppression bills since Reconstruction continued to move quickly through the state legislature. Senate Bill 241 and House Bill 531. Senate Bill 241 would end no excuse mail voting, implement new ID requirements, and add witness requirements for mail in voters. In essence, creating one of the most restrictive absentee voting laws in the entire country and resulting in some of the worst voter suppression since Jim Crow. Meanwhile, House Bill 531 was also rushed out of committee today in a desperate attempt to force the legislation onto the floor before crossover day. The bill would restrict Dropbox access, add new ID requirements for mail voting, and restrict weekend voting, among other provisions, all of which demonstrate just how unrelenting the GOP led Georgia legislature is in their attacks on voting rights. Not only are these ID and witness restrictions suppressive and unnecessary, but they are also outwardly discriminatory and would have a disparate impact on Black and other minority voters across our state, as well as older voters and voters in single person households. These proposals would erect a juggernaut of barricades to voting access, reviving Georgia's dark history of voter suppression and racism as state policy. And Lauren Grow Wargo, that you saw in the video, made the comment saying, Once again, GOP legislators in Georgia today showed the clear and urgent need for federal action to safeguard voting rights and pass House Resolution 1 and House Resolution 4 to protect voters from racist and malicious voter suppression. Senate Bill 241 and House Bill 531 are two of the most restrictive absentee voting policies in the country. These bills are nothing less than a direct attack on voting rights in Georgia, framed by far right conspiracies and disinformation that undermines our democracy and takes voting rights in Georgia back to the days of Jim Crow. Senate Bill 241 and House Bill 531 are assaults on democracy that constitute some of the worst attacks on voting rights since Reconstruction. Their progress today again shows just how critical it is that Congress pass House Resolution 1 and House Resolution 4 to protect voters and safeguard our democracy. So, this is, as we're watching this video, everything that's talked about is happening in real time. So I just wanted to get Sandra, you and Alan's feedback on what you guys think about everything.
Yeah, I was, one thing I think that really stood out in the film to me is just that whole idea of voter fraud, and that is virtually non-existent, because you really saw that here in Spalding County, with them looking through the dumpsters trying to find the votes, but it's just this whole, I think it's all this fear, like you said, that if we get out and if we vote, that it really upsets the balance of power that they've been so used to. And I think, like you said, it just kind of goes to show that the more things change, the more things stay exactly the same. And it's just really sad. I mean, it's really disheartening. I've been familiar with those votes for things like the voter suppression laws that have been put out there. That's something that our sorority has really been, highlighting and educating people on lately. But I don't know. I just think it's really disheartening. Like, what do you really do about this? I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely it's like as soon as you jump one hurdle, they
Mm-hmm.
throw, three more, four or five more on the obstacle course
Mm-hmm.
to make it even more difficult. So I think it's definitely to the point where since we do have these votes in Congress right now, to have to pass those resolutions to ensure that we're not going to be robbed of our rights, because at this point it's just getting beyond ridiculous, and the only thing that they're doing is setting the playing field for a 2024 run by idiot 45 is the only thing that I see this is coming down to.
Right.
Alan, you there? I know you're on granddaughter duty. She's so cute. Oh my goodness, she's so adorable. I can't take it.
Yeah. Yo, it's crazy because I mean, oh baby.
He's like, I can't talk right now.
She
I love it. Yeah.
But that statistic about 10, it's like, what is it, 10% of the population doesn't have some form of ID.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't care. Like they know that and they just don't care. And the thing is, when you're making laws, you should make access to voting easy for everyone, but you don't want that. You don't want that because you don't want their voice to be heard. And just the thought that you are suppressing people by having them wait in long lines. And you got people that are, have health conditions, that are working jobs, and, all of these things all these hurdles that you put in place intentionally so that, your power structure isn't interrupted. I
Yeah.
mean, I just think it's crazy. I think it's absolutely crazy.
It's like this is their only way to hold on to power.
Exactly.
And they're just, you know, they're scrambling to
Right.
make sure that they do, regardless of how the demographics are changing, regardless of what the people say that they want and need, they don't care.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just I don't know. I'm gonna have to find a way to get in a better mood today because right now I don't know. I'm just really upset and angry with
Hmm.
with, with everything, the whole system and how it operates.
I definitely understand. I haven't even watched Black Judas yet. I was gonna watch it this weekend. I heard it was really good. Oh,
Just be prepared. Maybe you should stay at home and not go anywhere.
right.
Because
Yo, it's
it's
really it's
really
really good though, but you, I mean, you just got to go in it. You can't go in it like because my parents was urging me to watch it, and I was gonna watch it anyway. But I was reading about the soundtrack and how one of the artists pulled out because they didn't like certain aspects of the movie, you know. And I was wondering why would an artist, I forgot her name, it was a female artist, and she's supposed to be on the soundtrack, but after screening the movie,
no
she
name. You're
opted,
talking about no name.
yeah, she opted out. And so I watched the movie, but I get it. It wasn't really, you know, I mean, it was about Fred Hampton, but if you was going in thinking it was gonna be a document or like an autobiography or something on Fred Hampton, that's not what you was gonna get,
Right.
you
And
know.
Shaka King said in interviews that there was no way they were gonna get the green light uh for
Right,
a movie that was specifically focused on that aspect.
right,
And but the thing that really made me confident in it was that Fred Hampton Jr. and Nicole Najeri were heavily involved in all aspects
right.
of the movie. So that gave me a lot more confidence in, the story being told as to what extent that it could be.
Yeah. Yo, what was amazing to me is that now, like I live in Oakland, I moved to Oakland in '79. It's heavy, like that's like the birth of the Black Panthers. When I was in college, we brought Stokely Carmichael, H. Rap Brown. We bought Minister Farrakhan to RIT in upstate New York, and they had the fake bomb scare to try and keep people from coming. It was like a 4 hour delay, but it still didn't stop Farrakhan from speaking. This was like in '88, and but I never knew a lot about Fred Hampton, and
Mhm.
it amazed me. I didn't know about the Rainbow Coalition. I didn't know about all that stuff, and I was wow. I was like, I got a lot of information from the movie. You know,
Right.
I mean, it was just crazy. Me and my man, I went to school with. We was like talk. We was like, wow. It was just I didn't know he was 21. I didn't know the other cat was 17. I wish
Mm.
they would have probably had like younger actors so it'd have been more sympathy for the character. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Because they were so young. And
Hmm.
that was, I mean, 17 years old or 21 just to be in those type of positions. Like it was like he would go back to his high school, Fred Hampton would, like they would ask him back to quell some of the tensions in the school amongst everybody. And it was like, I mean, it was real informative. I like the movie a lot. I mean, it's a lot of things that but that's what we do. That's why it's a lot of information available. You take that upon yourself and you find out a lot of other aspects about it though.
Yeah, one of the things that the sayings in the film that he had when he was like uh politics is war without bloodshed. and war is politics with bloodshed. Um,
Right.
and you know how relevant that saying really is.
Right.
You know, especially given everything that we're having to deal with right now. It's like it's crazy to even see things like this, you know, before I was born, because I'm a millennial, so I didn't get here until 82. But to be living at 38,
Hey.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't get dropped off until 1982. But to be 38 years old and thinking that I thought all this stuff was over. You understand what I'm saying? Like, why are we still having to deal with this?
Right. Right.
Crazy.
It's getting worse. It's
Yeah,
getting worse.
it's getting worse.
I've been listening to all this stuff going on with that CPAC and all that. It's getting worse. It's like they got a whole alternate reality that they running with. It's
Hmm.
like it's no more about what it is. It's like they creating their own narrative. It's like it was a they really they going with the lies about the election and everything.
Mm.
That's like the route they taking. I mean, they keep talking about this filibuster. I mean, is they gonna really do that?
They should.
I mean, of course they should, but I'm like, is they gonna do that? Because it's like it just feel like it's like you said, you was watching, you was getting like depressed. It's like in all these laws they passing in all these states. They got like almost close to 300 some laws they trying to pass in different various states to suppress the vote.
Because,
And they said this is the most secure vote. And it's like they coming with all their guns, and the
right,
other side is not come. You know what I mean? They trying to be passive. You can't even unite
right.
your own party, and you
I
trying
hate
to
when they
unite with
do that.
somebody else.
I
Yeah,
hate when they do that. It's like, you know, if the Republicans were, you know, there, they had another Republican president, they wouldn't care. They do it. So why are y'all holding it
yeah,
back?
Right,
exactly,
Pull the
right,
exactly.
trigger. Go.
Just go, just do
Right.
it, just
Right.
do it.
right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I can't understand either. We have the advantage now, so let's use it.
Right.
Like,
yep.
I don't
Don't make the same
right.
mistakes in 2010. You got to go. You got to press it. You got to
Right.
press it.
Because they're not gonna hesitate if they
They're
Nope.
see.
not. They're not. They're gonna put their foot
Nope.
on the gas and keep going.
Right.
And they didn't hesitate. They passed. They got all them judges in. They threw that. They slammed that tax cut down everybody's throat. They not hesitate. So
Mm,
you got the majorities at least till 2022. Get that John
it's
Lewis
done.
joint going. Get the filibuster. You got to get it going. Get the infrastructure. Get this COVID, and then man, talk to me, man. Talk to me after all this has been passed and see what the people think about all this. Because that infrastructure is going to make up for all them jobs they keep screaming is being lost from these Keystone pipelines and whatnot. That's
Man,
Mm.
all going. Yeah, come on, get
it's
that
crazy.
$15 minimum wage. What
Let me
they
tell you,
man? So it's what we did.
if I was Biden, as much as Trump was tweeting out on the toilet every day, that's how many executive orders I would be signing
Exactly,
every day. Like,
exactly.
Mhm.
seriously.
Man, cry me a river. We'll
Hmm.
cross that bridge when we get to it.
Exactly.
Man, if the people don't like it, they'll vote us out. How about that?
Hmm.
Nah. But they don't want a whole lot of voters. They want the least amount of voters as possible. They like they were saying in the documentary just now, they not trying to expand the vote. They trying to just suppress. They not trying to help, they not trying to listen to what the people want. They
Well,
like, no, we gonna suppress them.
well,
Mm.
the bad thing is, and you can't control the flow of information when it comes to movements. But what
Right.
I really hate is that, you know, Kelly Loeffler now, since she lost the race, she's taking all her money to establish an organization similar to New Georgia and these voter registration organizations in order to register more conservative voters.
Yeah. It's the
Mm.
same thing. She biting,
Right,
basically.
right. Exactly. She's taking the whole blueprint and playbook uh in order to get them out.
It ain't gonna work. I mean, they can't. How is it voter fraud? But then they trying to register people to vote. Can you really have it both ways like that? Which is it? What you going with? What did you go? What's your platform?
What right? It makes their arguments make no sense whatsoever, and I just can't wait for Stacey to come for that governor's office again. I
Right.
really can't.
Yo, she the coldest, man. I worry about Stacey Abrams, man. She got to have a mean security detail because I
Man,
worry about her. Her voice
she's
is
she's in Georgia. Don't don't
allegedly.
mistake it.
Allegedly.
Don't mistake these people around here because they're perfectly capable of doing some crazy shit.
That's right.
Listen.
You gotta close the lights. Oh, sorry. Why are you in here? I'm moving around with the baby.
Around with the baby. That is so funny.
I have a quick question though. You guys were saying that with the movie The Black Messiah that it could not focus on Fred Hampton. What was the reason?
Shaka couldn't get it cleared through the studios if he had specifically just focused on telling the story from Fred's point of view and all of
the money would have dried up.
The money would have dried up. There's radical and there's radical. Like even some of the stuff they showed in the film was taking it there. But if they had fully focused on everything since day one leading up to his murder, it would have been they wouldn't have gotten it through. They wouldn't have gotten it.
Okay.
Yeah. But you definitely watch the movie, and once you watch it, just go ahead and start doing your own research about the other things that he had going in and he was involved in.
Okay.
You'll see exactly why they couldn't.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all I had for discussion wise. So we're going to be doing the Let Food Be Your Medicine.
On a lighter note,
right.
Finally.
right. And I'm like, this is coming right on time for me because I need to get my beach body together.
Thank you. This stuff, however, we need these discussions that need to be had, but it's like you say, this you get emotional and you get to feel up right away. So I'm glad we will be talking about something.
Yeah, exercising mind, body, and spirit, because coming out of Black History Month is really heavy. So this will be, a welcome little
right
for that. Oh my goodness, I can't take this cuteness.
Hey,
not.
Hey, thanks everybody for coming out. Hey, I appreciate this. This was a good one. This was good. I'm glad, and I had it on Prime Video, so I got to really, really watch it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people. Sometimes I get, leery about paying subscriptions, but it's worth it. And that's why I don't mind, logging in and being able to share it for everyone to view. That might not necessarily have access. So.
Mm-hmm. So are we reading that for next week or?
Yeah. We had go ahead and get it if you can, because that's gonna be what we're starting next Sunday.
Yeah, I got it I put it on my Kindle this morning. So.
Yeah, I did too. I just downloaded it for the Kindle.
$2, $2 or $3. Can't beat that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll grab it.
All right. Well, all right, y'all. I'll be putting out the call for whoever wants to facilitate the discussion if they're available for next Sunday.
Okay.
I want to sit back and relax again. So I think I'm probably gonna, between Jasmine and DeAndre, who pushed the book so hard, probably gonna make one of them make sure they step up and do it.
That was my vote.
Yeah.
whoever suggested it.
Sandra too. But no, I'm good. I'm good that we are gonna be reading this one. So yeah.
All right.
All right, y'all. Have a good week.
All right.
Good week. Bye, cutie. What's her name?
Her name is Ariella Melody.
Oh, Ariella Melody.
She's adorable.
Yes, she really is. Really is.
Say bye-bye. Y'all have a nice weekend.
All
All
right.
right.
True.
Bye-bye.
Bye.